In February 2017, a report commissioned by the International Chamber of Commerce estimated that global counterfeiting and piracy could have an economic impact of $4.2 trillion by 2022. The report also stated that 5.4 million jobs are at risk. This followed a 2016 update that despite increased policing, the global counterfeiting and piracy problem was getting worse, not better. Counterfeiting is a high-margin, highly profitable business that offers perpetrators little chance of getting caught, and punishments are usually nominal. For these reasons, those at the top of the counterfeiting supply chain are often criminal organizations that have no qualms about employing slave and child labor, exploiting immigrants to sell their fake wares, and disregarding any health and safety issues to those who consume their illegal products. Contrary to public belief, banknotes are one of the smallest counterfeiting markets, since governments implement numerous anti-counterfeiting features in each note and are apt to use the latest anti-counterfeiting technologies. However, legacy anti-counterfeiting technologies like holograms are becoming irrelevant since they are easily duplicated. But one company that banknote issuing authorities are quickly embracing is Nanotech Security. Nanotech Security has developed anti-counterfeiting technology based upon the wings of the blue morphle butterfly. Its wings are transparent and reflect light in vibrant colors. Nanotech Security expands its luminescence by not only providing neon-like images and threads, but also videos that can be embedded upon any surface, including plastic, paper, metal, and even hair. Last week, at the Echelon Entrepreneur Summit, we caught up with Nanotech Security's Chairman and CEO Doug Blakeway and the company's President and CFO Troy Bullock.
And so, Doug, I understand that you recently had a $30 million development contract with a large top issuing authority. It's over 5 years. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
The development contract that you're referring to is with one of the top 10 issuing authorities. It allows us to take both our nano-optic technology and our color-shifting optical thin film technologies and develop into security features specifically for an issuing authority. That will drive at the end that we would be on banknotes.
Is there any other industry that Nanotech Security is focused upon right now?
Yeah, there is. I mean, the great thing about our technology is it has a lot of different applications. The hologram market today is a multi-billion-dollar market and goes on all sorts of packaging, all sorts of security documents, as well as ticketing and tax stamps. So our initial focus has been, as we've said, the banknote space, but we're also looking at other markets. The next market for us is tax stamps, which is a stamp that goes on liquor bottles or cigarette packages around the world to ensure that the taxes have been collected on that. Traditionally, that's been a hologram, and we believe our technology can replace that. So that's the next market. But there's also applications into pharmaceutical industry, putting an image directly onto a pill or a capsule, as well as the packaging market. So our primary focus in the next sort of 12 to 18 months is definitely the banknote and tax stamp space, but we're setting the inroads into those other markets as well.
Troy, you said you could actually put your technology on a pharmaceutical pill. Doesn't that change the chemical composition at all?
No, it doesn't, because again, all we're creating is indentation. So we basically create a printing plate, if you will, that just gets impressed into whatever that substrate is. So it's a pill or a capsule. Just during the encapsulation process, you would just push into the pill or capsule the image, and it would be on there. And it could change colors or change wording. So it might say Tylenol in one direction, and as you shifted it, it could say authentic in the other direction.
Doug, word on the street is that you've been traveling quite a bit in India. Can you elaborate upon what's going on over there in terms of what Nanotech Security is working on there?
Sure, Marcel. Just got back from India. It was a fantastic trip. We made inroads into the tax stamp that Troy was referring to, as well as a lot of attention was brought into a new product lines and using our technology in that, from foils, from backgrounds, into packaging, and into things such as cosmetic lines where you have the animation that our technology allows you to have put into it and bring life to a product.
So can you give a little bit of idea of the revenue model, Troy?
Yeah, there's several aspects to the revenue model. So currently we're receiving the bulk of our revenue, the majority of our revenue from the banknote development contract. So we're working with top 10 issuing authorities, countries effectively, to design our security features into their banknotes for future circulation. That's where the majority of our revenue is coming from today. Once we get into the banknote, because we're selling effectively a printing plate, we'll be collecting a licensing fee or a royalty, if you will, off of each banknote produced by that country. And typically, once you're designed into a banknote, they will produce that banknote for the next 7 to 8 years. And then if you're renewed into the next series, another 7 to 8 years. So it's got a very sticky recurring revenue model that would be basically a licensing fee, so 100% gross margin once we're designed into that banknote.
And recently you reported your third quarter. It was record revenue, and you also were cash flow positive. Can we anticipate that there's going to be more of that coming in the future?
Yeah, no, we did have our strongest quarter ever, and hopefully we're just getting started. This past quarter, we had record revenues, but what we were very pleased with is we had 71% or 78% gross margins. Along with that, we are cash flow positive for the first time, generating a cash flow of about $700,000. And looking ahead, we see the fourth quarter coming in fairly consistent with the third quarter we just finished. And then as we go beyond that, really our operating costs are going to maintain about the same level. And so as we grow our top line and as we start to add licensing revenue, it really should all start to fall to the bottom line. So we're really trying to position ourselves as a very high gross margin company with a very strong EBITDA margin. Our EBITDA margins in the fourth quarter were already at 23%, but we have aspirations to try and see that north of 50% by the time we get the licensing revenue coming in.
Fascinating. So strong revenue growth, sticky customers, high gross margin, EBITDA positive. Things are looking good for Nowtech Security. The ticker is NTS on the Toronto Venture Exchange. And again, I have Doug Blakeway, CEO and Chairman here, and Troy Bullock, who is the CFO and President. Thank you very much, gentlemen.